Objections are not rejection. And sometimes, especially when we're new and the customer says no to an option we present, what happens is our energy and our enthusiasm, we're at like, maybe we're not at a level 10, but we're level 7 or 8 energy. Customer says no to the homemaker set. And what happens is our energy drops. We don't mean for it to, but it does. We internalize that because your entire life you've been conditioned to avoid hearing the word no. No is discipline. No is negativity, reproach, Mao, bad, no. All right. And so what happens is we hear that no, and it just sort of throws us off our game. Our enthusiasm drops, our energy drops. But you have to think about it from the customer's perspective. Your customer's experience of this is, wow, Brian was all excited about that homemaker set. He doesn't seem excited about that galley set. Oh, I guess that's just not a very good option. So then what happens is the customer starts to disconnect. They get a little bit shorter. They move a little quicker. They're a little less interested. And then what happens is our energy drops even lower and our confidence drops even lower. And so it's this cycle. It's like a snake eating its own tail. There's this echo chamber effect that's happening. So you have to do quite the contrary. You have to do the exact opposite. Number one, don't be afraid of objections. Objections are simply a problem waiting to be solved. And every objection you'll ever hear, it's going to come down to one of three things. These are the only three objections you will ever get. It's either too much money, it's too many knives, or it's I hate Cutco. That's basically it. Now, how often do you actually think we get that last one, I hate Cutco? I don't know, about 1 out of every 152 demos. So, hey, if you got one like that, fantastic. You should be good for the next 148, and let's ride, So, really, every objection is some version of it's either just too much money or it's too many knives. Hey, I want to get it, but we've got new car, new kids, new roof, whatever bill's coming, so I'll have to get it later. That's just them telling you that I want it, but it's too much money for me right now. Wouldn't be too much money for me later. But the problem is we know that as that later gets closer and closer, the value is going to drop. They're not lying to you when they say they want to buy it later, but that value which you built up through your demo, well, guys, when you leave, the value is going to continue dropping. There's two things that sell Cutco, enthusiasm and Cutco. And when you leave that demo, you take with you, well, your enthusiasm and all the knowledge about Cutco. So they're going to remember they wanted it. They won't forget that, but they lose too much of the why, and that's why those promise orders almost never happen. So it's in your best interest to say, hey, no worries, Mrs. Jones. I totally understand. Let's dig down here just a little bit. I tell you what, I would hate for you to wake up tomorrow morning, open your kitchen drawer, and you know what you're going to see? The same old crappy knives that you've had forever, except the difference is now you're going to know what you're missing and you're going to hate me, okay? So I totally understand. And by the way, you can absolutely buy that homemaker a month from now, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't at least let you know your options. So hey, let me at least show you this galley set because, gosh, for everything you're telling me, I honestly think this may be a way better fit for y'all, truthfully, and it doesn't hurt to at least find out. So hey, let me show you this really quick because I think it has everything you're going to need, but it's a lot cheaper and it might be something that makes more sense now. Boom. Confidently set the stage. Hey, Mrs. Jones, you know what? We love that signature set, but we know it's not right for everybody. I tell you what, the homemaker set, it's been our best-selling set for 70 years now for a reason. Let me show you the pieces that you would still get in that homemaker set because it's an unbelievable savings. You're going to save like almost half as much from that signature set or 40% off or whatever it is. I think you're going to love this. And I tell you what, I think I can still find a way to get you that cheese knife and shears because I know you got to have those. I saw your eyes light up. I bet I could find a way to still get you those with that homemaker. So let me show you this package really quick. I think you're going to love this. Guys, objections are just problems waiting to be solved. And a lot of times it's not about knowing the exact right words to say. You don't need to know exactly what would Brian say. I've been doing this 20 years. I have a head start on y'all. But you can take the enthusiasm and the confidence, just making sure that your energy is not dropping at all. Okay, the number one mistake that people make is they go too fast through the drop down. So my advice to you is this. Answers to the objections on the homemaker set. You have the answers, the knee-jerk reactions. Those are great. Because again, if someone's going to buy a car, they probably don't say yes to the first deal that's offered to them. Guys, for all your customers know, we haggle. We don't, but they don't know that. So it's logical for them to say no at least once. That way they make sure they're getting the best deal and they feel really comfortable and confident doing it. So my challenge to you is this. Try to answer 2 objections on the homemaker before you drop down. That's my challenge. If you can do that, you're going to plant your flag, you'll build more value in the set and that option. And by doing so and really listening to the customer, the galley will become a very logical thing to drop down and show them. The important thing when you go through this is just to make sure that you bring in the right kind of energy, the right kind of enthusiasm, confidence, enthusiasm, and positive expectations on sets. That's what sells sets. Where attention goes, energy flows. So set your intentions on selling a lot of sets and providing the best service for your customer long-term by getting what they actually need in their kitchen.